Alright, my name is Charles Luther. I'm in the Theater 101 class, and this is my final exam presentation. I've chosen to do the acting part. So the thing that I'm going to be performing today is an excerpt from Woody Allen monologue called Confessions of a Burglar. The creative choices that I've brought to the table for this are attire, kind of 20s gangster bruiser type outfit, as well as an accent that I'm going to be attempting, kind of a Woody Allen New York style accent. So, alright, here it is, Confessions of a Burglar by Woody Allen. Sure, I stole. I mean, why not? Where I grew up, you had to steal to eat. Sometimes you even had to steal a tip. Most guys stole 15%, but I always stole 20, which made me a big favorite among the waiters. Usually after a heist, I'd even steal a pair of pajamas so that I could sleep in. Unless it was a hot night, then I'd just steal some underwear. I didn't have the best upbringing, you might say. Dad was always on the run from the cops. I actually never saw him out of disguise until I was 22. I used to think he was a short, fat, bald man with dark glasses and a limp. Turns out he's tall, skinny, blonde, kind of looks like Lindblade. Dad was a professional bank robber. Back in those days, it had a mandatory retirement age of 65. So when he finally retired, he gets into mail fraud. Postal rates go up, he lost everything. Mom wanted too, but back then it wasn't the way it is now with women wanting equal rights and everything. Back then if a woman wanted to get into crime, she'd have to go in for blackmail. Sometimes they could get into arson. Well, I guess there was a time there where they could do getaway driving. That was during the driver's strike in 1926. Terrible strike. It lasted 8 weeks. Anytime a gang would pull a job, they'd come out with the money, they'd either have to walk or take a cab. I got a sister and 2 brothers. My sister Jenny, she married into money. Not an actual person, I mean like a literal stack of cash. My brother Vic, he got into a group with a bunch of plagiarists. He was right in the middle of signing his name to The Wasteland, when out of nowhere he's surrounded by the feds and he gets 10 years. Some rich kid from some highfalutin family is signing his name to Pounds Contos, and he gets off on probation. That's a justice system for you. My youngest brother Charlie, he was a loan shark, a fence, a numbers runner. Never really did find himself. Eventually he gets arrested for loitering. He loitered for 7 years till he finally figured out that's not the kind of job you pull if you want to make any money. I think the first thing I ever stole was a loaf of bread. I was working down at Rifkin's Bakery. It was my job to take the jelly out of stale donuts and put it into fresh goods. Pretty exacting work too. You do it with a rubber hose and a scalpel. Your hands shake, you drop the jelly on the floor, Mr. Rifkin will pull your hair. So one day, Anthony Ropkin walks in. We all looked up to Anthony. And he says he wants a loaf of bread, but he's absolutely refusing to pay for it. Kind of dropping hints that this is a way for a smart kid to get in on the rackets. So I take that cue, and every day after work, I slip a piece of rye into my coat. After 3 weeks, I've got the loaf. So I'm heading on down to Mr. Rothstein's office. And I start to feel a little bit of remorse. Because even though I hate Mr. Rifkin, his wife once gave me two seeds from a roll when my uncle was dying. So I try to put the loaf back, but I get caught when I'm trying to figure out which loaf each slice came from. Next thing I know, I'm landing in Elmira Reformatory. Now Elmira was a tough joint. I escaped 5 times. One time was in the back of a laundry truck. I was hiding in the back, and all of a sudden I get poked by a stick from a guard. He looks at me and he says, "What are you doing there, lying there in that hamper?" I look back at him straight in his eyes and I says, "I'm some shirts." I could tell he was a little dubious. He starts pacing back and forth, kind of breathing hard. I guess I get a little bit panicky. So I say, "I'm some shirts, I tell you. I'm some shirts. Some blue denim white shirts." Next thing I know, I'm manacled hand and foot and I'm back in the store. Well, that was an excerpt from, like I said, Woody Allen's Confessions of a Burglar. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.